Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to one and all. Welcome you all for joining the session on hybrid cloud management. This is Kavi. I head marketing for ServiceNow-based services at Aspire. I'm very glad to host this session. Today's topic is hybrid cloud management using ServiceNow. Ravi is our speaker for today's session. Ravi is the principal consultant at Aspire Systems. He spearheads the ServiceNow implementation team at Aspire. He has around 9 years of experience in working on various ServiceNow projects, and he is an expert in ITSM and ITOM implementation. Welcome to the session, Ravi.
Thank you, Kavi. Hello, everyone.
Followed by Ravi's presentation, we will have the Q&A session. Before we begin the session, I would like to give a brief intro about Aspire Systems. Aspire is a global technology services firm with specialization in software engineering. We are an expert in software engineering, digital services, testing and infrastructure and application support. We are a registered solution partner of ServiceNow, and we have executed more than 100 projects in the last 9 years. We have migrated over 50,000 users to ServiceNow platform last year. Our global implementation model was created and it was well received by our customers. And we have 24/7 administration and support services. We are now an 1,800 employee organization with more than 150 customers actively present with us. Our international headquarters is in Singapore, and we have presence in various locations across US, UK, Benelux, Middle East, and India. I am proud to say that we have been recognized 8 consecutive times as best place to work for by GPW Institute. Here are the housekeeping instructions. If you have any questions, please type them in the question from audience window located beside the presentation panel. We have already received few questions from our registrants which will be answered during the session. We will continue to collect more questions during the session and we'll try to answer them in today's session. If you didn't hear from us today, we would be sending your answers via email shortly. Thanks for your participation, and I really hope that you will enjoy our session. Handing over to Ravi.
Thank you, Kavi. Hello, everyone. So let's get into the agenda. So what is our objective for this webinar? We like to start with what is ServiceNow for IT service management and beyond. We like to start here to break the ice. Why ServiceNow for other things apart from IT service management? Because everyone knows that ServiceNow does a very good job when it comes to IT service management. Are we considering ServiceNow as a platform for IT operations and IT business management? So we would like to start with ServiceNow for ITSM and beyond. And we would like to give you a roadmap or a maturity roadmap how you can make use of your ServiceNow platform in your business. Next, we will jump on to the cloud adoption rate, its trend and pain points. So cloud adoption is, I think, it's inevitable at this point of time. So everyone does have resources running in cloud, and we are finding it difficult to manage it. So we will try to see what are the pain points which we can address through ServiceNow. And then we will touch upon ServiceNow for hybrid cloud management. What is the answer from ServiceNow when it comes to hybrid cloud management? And then we will have a brief demo on ServiceNow hybrid cloud management on AWS, Azure, and its full life cycle. So the demo will be focusing on how you can create resources from ServiceNow via Service Catalog and how you can manage it, just to give you an idea how it works. And then we will take up your questions. So to start with, what is ServiceNow for IT service management and beyond? So the figure, what you're seeing here is the maturity roadmap, what we have come up based upon our experience over this period of time. So where you can start, how you can drive your ServiceNow platform or make use of your ServiceNow platform to address different needs. To start with, we can go with the core stack implementation, so which is a plain thing like incident, problem, and change, having a service catalog, and also having a configuration management database as a backbone. So this is a good way to start. Okay, and then what is the next thing you can think about? You can have discovery, having an asset management, procurement, contract management, vendor management, and also a knowledge base. So why we need this operational management after the core stack implementation? It's logical, right? So when we have the incident, problem, and change process running, then we can move ahead or have another step towards asset management or procurement, how we can have a workflow which ties between the service catalog and the procurement, and how we can manage the vendor's performance based upon the assets and all this stuff. So it automatically gives you a logical path to this point. The third level would be to have an automation running. So we have this automation running here because to have the automation or the orchestration running, we should have a really strong process when it comes to incident, problem, or change, and we should have a very strong CMDB in place. So we have this orchestration in the third. So orchestration gives you a lot of automation to your IT infrastructure. You can plan it, you can prioritize those automation depending upon our needs, and we can make use of the platform to automate the repetitive task which your service desk or your technicians are doing, which includes the cloud provisioning. As you know, that takes a lot of time from the cloud administration team to provision the resource what the customer have requested for, and we can completely do an automation in that. And we can talk about configuration automation, service watch or service mapping, along with event management, which will be a third level of maturity when it comes to the overall roadmap of your ServiceNow platform. Then we can talk about the integration of ServiceNow with other enterprise applications within your company. So why we need this integration? Because ServiceNow is going to play a very important part, not only with your IT, but also towards different departments in your company. So how we can make these different systems talk to each other, share the data, and have one system which gives you the true results of the data. So we can have ServiceNow. It's not only bringing all the data into ServiceNow, we can also move the data from ServiceNow to any other tool in case if you're having any reporting systems or any other ERP systems for which you need data from ServiceNow, we can get the ServiceNow data integrated. Then it comes to the enterprise service management, how I can make use of the platform, not a tool, as a platform, how I can make use of ServiceNow to solve the pain areas or to address the pain areas of other departments like HR, facilities, field services, or create your own custom application to solve the other issues within other departments or facilitate the service management in a more proper and standard way. And then comes the strategic reporting. Strategic reporting, we have two main options. One is performance analytics, and we have service 360. Performance analytics is now on a peak because we can see that many companies are adopting performance analytics because they see a good result. And this is a very high level of strategic reporting, which you can publish it to your CTO or CIO to see a trend or even come up with some kind of cost figure, like how much we are spending on each of the services and how well we are performing on providing each of these business services to the company. So we wanted to start with this because this gives you a broader spectrum of what ServiceNow can do in an overall period of time and how you can advance step by step into different levels. Now we can jump on to the cloud. So cloud adoption. Okay, so cloud, as I said, is inevitable right now. So this is just a figure to show you how it is adopted across the enterprise worldwide. Now we have 85% of the enterprise in multi-cloud infrastructure, which means they are in multiple private or multiple public and hybrid cloud environment. So how we can address, how we can facilitate this hybrid cloud environment within ServiceNow, or what are the features ServiceNow offers. So some of the pain points here: very limited visibility on the cloud services you offer, because our customers or your customers don't know what kind of cloud services you offer to them, because there is no marketplace where you're publishing what you're offering. The second pain point is the manual provisioning. It's a very time-consuming process. With the rate of requests we are getting from the customers for the cloud resources, if we are going to do that manually, it is going to take a lot of time from the technicians, which we are wasting. Actually, we can make use of the time of the technicians to do other critical tasks or other high level of technical tasks. The third pain point is lack of process compliance. Wherever you have an IT resource running which is not inside my IT infrastructure, it is obvious that we are not going to have full control of the processes or the compliance perspective of the resources provisioned or how it is managed. So this is one of the major pain points when it comes to compliance. And the fourth pain point is about the cost. Where am I spending? So am I getting the right data about how much I'm spending for these cloud resources, or am I charging back the departments who are using these cloud resources, or am I reporting those in a very clear standard fashion? So these are the pain points on a high level, which we can address it using ServiceNow. And there are other pain points as well which we can address it with ServiceNow and its out-of-the-box features, but these are the high level or the top-rated pain points when it comes to the hybrid cloud management. So we will see how ServiceNow helps you in addressing these pain points. So what is all about ServiceNow Cloud Management? So we have divided the solution into three major categories, starting from request fulfillment as a platform for automation and as a cloud operational platform as well. So starting with request fulfillment, what ServiceNow offers, it offers you a marketplace. So the marketplace is nothing but your same simple user-friendly service catalog. So it gives you the transparent view for your customers to access different resources or different services you're offering through cloud. So it is just another service catalog for them, which they can access it through ServiceNow or Service Portal, fill in some major or required fields and submit it, and the rest is automatically taken care. So we are not showing all the automations. We are not showing all the pain points related with those provisioning to the customer. So from the customer perspective, it is a wonderful marketplace, a very user-friendly place where they can avail the services which you are offering for cloud services. The second is the process guidelines and controls. So as I mentioned before, one of the major issues with the cloud resources are, since it is not within my infrastructure, I don't have a clear control over the processes involved in provisioning or managing these cloud resources, or they are compliant with the guidelines which I have already defined and I'm following it for the resources which I manage inside my network. Am I compliant with those things when it comes to cloud? Or do we have control over those resources? Who is accessing what? Which department is using more resources? I don't have those. So now, when it comes to ServiceNow, all these comes into one place. So we can have a clear-cut, defined process. We can implement our guidelines, same like what we are doing for our internal IT resources, and we can have good control over it. So starting from marketplace, now we have full control over the process. Now next is to automate it, right? So one of the pain points is that we are spending a lot of time in provisioning or managing these cloud resources manually. How ServiceNow can do that? So ServiceNow can help you to resolve or find a solution to these pain points by using the automation. So ServiceNow comes with the orchestration. We can make use of this orchestration process, integrate with those cloud providers, for example, AWS or Azure, or even in your private cloud like vCloud. and we can automate the provisioning process via this integration. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to supply the information, what I got from the user, from the service catalog, under the process guidelines, and I have automated this entire provisioning process. Now how I can manage it. So once provisioned, all these resources are going to be part of my CMDB, which is a very wonderful thing, because when it comes to CMDB, I have a full control of all the CIs, which is within my network, or which I'm managing it directly in my data center. So all the resources, even in cloud, becomes your CI in the CMDB, which means that you will have full control of the changes to those CIs, who is accessing what and what kind of resources they are. So managing becomes very easy, and if we have a good configuration management process, all these processes are applicable to the cloud resources as well. Now the third category is all about the cost utilization reports. So now I have a marketplace, I have a service catalog to show my end users how they can avail the service. I have put in my process, I have automated it, I'm managing it well. Now I need to have a report on how it is getting billed to me, how much I'm spending and where I'm spending, which resource is costing me more, and which department should I charge back. So this entire cost utilization reports are completely available in ServiceNow through this integration. So this integration, for example, if it is a hybrid cloud environment, we are going to get the cost from Azure, we are going to get the cost from AWS. So we can have one single pane of report which will show your total cost expenditure for all the different resources which are in cloud, and you can also have this expenditure mapped for chargeback for different departments. So it gives you transparency, it gives you clarity on the cost. And the last one is to retire. So now I have the resources, I have managed it well, I know the cost. Now if I have to retire, I can still do that via ServiceNow. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is all the entire life cycle of this cloud resource is getting managed or getting done within the ServiceNow environment, and we don't need to shuffle between different platforms or different consoles to manage it. So everything comes into ServiceNow. So now we will jump on to a short demo of what comes out of the box as hybrid cloud management in ServiceNow. I have my colleague with me, who is a senior ServiceNow developer, Syed. So he will give you a short demo here.
Thank you, Ravi, for giving the brief overview on cloud management. Hello, everyone. In this session, I would like to showcase a demo about how the ServiceNow talks with Azure. We have done an integration between Azure and ServiceNow. The outcome of this particular use case is the cloud resource requester or the user can request their resources based on their application links. The resources could be like a database servers or websites, or it could be any database. Okay, so the entry point would be for any end user will come under self-service, and okay, so under self-service, I have a module called Cloud Resource Catalog. Once the Cloud Resource Catalog is clicked, it takes you to a page where it has a different sections like Azure Resource Groups, Amazon Virtual Machines, Amazon Console Access. So in this use case, I'm picking the Azure Resource Group. And as soon as I click, I have 3 catalog items which are populated from the ARM templates. So in this use case, I'm picking the Azure template as per web service. So it has a catalog. This is basically a catalog item. It has basic fields like terms and conditions, and we have a section called lease start date and lease end date. So how long does the resource group need? In this case, I need this resource group only for wait time. So I'm just taking a date like 1 week, and the business purpose of this particular resource. So this is connected internally, and it is no way connected with the Azure. So all the informations are getting recorded here is just to report based on the ServiceNow. During this demo. And next item or section, we have a CMDB attribute. The CMDB attribute is connected internally with ServiceNow in order to fetch the reports, like to which resource group we have mapped this CMDB. And it is really helpful when we fetch the reports on CMDB and the resource groups. So these are the values which are populated from the ARM templates. And the next section, we have a cost center and project. For every resource, we could map a single project, or we could either map a multiple project for a single resource. So I'm mapping the cost center here as IT services, and the cost center is cloud health management system, and we have a section called availability. So here you could see the days like Monday, Tuesday until Sunday. So I need the resource running only on the weekdays, and I don't want those resources to be run on the weekends. So based on the days which you are selecting here, the resource group will be active only on those days. Apart from those days which you are not selecting, the ServiceNow system will consider those resource group as idle, and it is really helpful when we generate the report based on the cost. When the Azure resource group is an idle state, the Azure will not charge back for the cost. So I need this resource group only on the weekdays, so I'm just selecting as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I don't want this resource to be running on Saturdays and Sundays. And next we have a group called this resource group, where we need to key the resource group if we want to create it on the Azure. So I'm giving the resource group name as Cloud Azure Demo. Yeah. And we have a template parameters. So you could see all the six parameters which are populated from the PAM template. We have branch, hosting plan name, repo URL, site name, SKU, and worker size. Okay. So the branch. The purpose of branch is my source code is existing in the GitHub application. In that GitHub application, we could have a multiple branch. It could be either a primary branch or master branch. So in this case, I want to fetch the source code which are existing in the master branch. And the next item is hosting plan name. So the hosting plan name is, we could map a multiple website under a single hosting plan name. So I'm going to key in the value which I have given the value for the Azure resource group. Like I need to create a hosting plan name, Cloud, Azure, and Demo. And below that, you could see a repo URL. So this repo URL is where my original application, GitHub, my original source code is in, and it is a sample HTML page. And next we have a parameter called site name. And this is the site name which actually gets created on the Azure. I want a site to be named as Cloud Azure Demo. Since I'm using the same name, I would like to go with the Azure Resource Demo here with the site name. And we have an SKU. Okay, the SKU stands for Start Keeping Unit. It could be like S1, Basics, Free, or F1. It depends on what parameter we have passed in. So in this case, I'm selecting as S1 and the worker size. So the worker size, again, it allows you to talk with the Azure. The worker size and the worker role are interconnected for the worker size. And these are the basic fields which needs to be keyed in during the submission of this request. So as a normal service catalog form submission, I'm just clicking on the Order Now button. soon as the Order Now button is clicked, an RITM will get created in the ServiceNow system, and you could see the stage and state on the right hand. It says whether it is waiting for the approval or whether it has passed the approval. So it keeps you updated about each stage, what is the current progress about this RITM. So you could see the stage is waiting for approval and the stage is in work in progress. Okay. So as soon as the request is submitted, I would like to show you the Azure portal. I have logged in from the another browser. And this is the Azure portal. And inside the portal, I am just going to Azure Resource Group. And you could see a resource has got created. And the name of the resource name is Cloud Azure Demo. This is the value which I gained from the ServiceNow system. And the default subscription we have mapped with ServiceNow Demo, and the resource group will get deployed on South Central US region. So as soon as the resource group name is clicked, you could see the status of this particular application. It says it is in deploying progress. So I will jump back again to ServiceNow, and you could find the details about the resource group under resource group instance, and you could see the status of this particular resource group, which is succeed, and the region deployed is South Central US. And once if you click on this particular item, it will take you to detailed and overview about the particular cloud resource. So it has the tag key values from which requested item we have created this resource groups, and we have an option to even terminate this particular resource from the ServiceNow system. And until then it gets deployed, I would like to quickly show you the reports of cloud management, the cost and the usage report of Azure. We have built a homepage for this. Basically, it has all the cost and the usage report. It has the Azure cost, it has the Amazon cost. Everything is mingled in a single dashboard. So the first step, you could see the Amazon Dynamic Electronics. So these are all the stacks which are already existing in our Azure platform. And left side, you could see the cost of each stack. These are the dates, on which date, how much money we have spent for the particular stack. So all these details could be viewed from this cost report, and below that we have a report of usage. How much usage we have spent for each stock and as well as for the resources. Okay, so I hope the resource group which we got created would have been succeed. Yeah, so it takes a couple of minutes, maybe like 1 to 2 minutes to get deployed. Basically, it gets all the information from the ServiceNow into the Azure. So it takes a couple of minutes to get deployed. As soon as the application is deployed, you could see the status here as succeed. Okay, which means that our application has been successfully deployed and our code from the Git repository has been copied to the Azure. Okay, so this is what I have for the Azure integration, and I will pass on to Ravi for the rest of the items.
Thank you, Syed. Hello, everyone. So now you have seen a short demo on how this integration works, on how ServiceNow helps. Now, we wanted to show you what comes out of the box without any customization for you to have a look at the plain vanilla. What if I have a ServiceNow Cloud Management license, what I get, and this is what you get. Now, I'm sure that most of you guys would have convinced that it answers or it solves most of the day-to-day issues you have with hybrid cloud. Now, when it comes to customization, what are the things which comes to customization? We don't have any limit, I would say, because again, it's part of the platform. You can customize it. Now, if you have seen the service catalog, out of the box, the service catalog items asks you many information, but you don't need to really ask all these information from your customer. You can still ask for some major information, like what is the cost center, which project it is related to, and have those flavors created as part of the ARM template, and then get that integrated or get that deployed using ServiceNow platform or the orchestration. So all I'm trying to say here is what comes out of the box is not only what you get, you can customize a lot. And when it comes to reporting, you can have a lot of the reporting done within ServiceNow with all the data, what you get from Azure, AWS, or any other cloud platform which you think of. And you can get those reports consolidated in one place and have a single dashboard which shows the overall cost spending and even the chargebacks. Okay. So I will pass this demo for a minute. And then we will take up questions, Kavi.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Syed. We have quite a lot of questions from the audience, Ravi. So first question is, how long will it take to implement cloud management in ServiceNow?
A typical implementation of cloud management within ServiceNow will take about 6 to 8 weeks. Again, it largely depends upon what kind of environment we are going to use and what kind of processes we are trying to implement. But technically, the parts are very simple, right? So one, we have a customer-facing service portal. We have our service catalog items. We have a process tied up with those service catalog items, and we should have the automation part ready. Now, if that is the case, then the entire implementation will not take more than 6 to 8 weeks. And this is, again, an overall maturity process. So we are not going to do everything in a day. So it takes some time to mature, to add those resources and add those as part of the service catalog. So typically, I would say that 6 to 8 weeks will be a good time to implement the cloud management.
Thank you, Ravi. Now, does ServiceNow Jakarta integrate with VRA and VMware?
Yes, it does. So ServiceNow, from what I see, ServiceNow is doing a lot of stuff and a lot of improvements in each version of ServiceNow. So Jakarta is going to be a huge leap when it comes to hybrid cloud management, and it is going to provide you integration with those VMware. And in case if there are some questions, I don't know, but in case if there are things for which we don't have the out-of-the-box integration, just for example an OpenStack or any other cloud environment, we can still integrate those cloud environment in ServiceNow using simple REST APIs and web services. So the integration is still possible, and out-of-the-box, yes, we are going to get that in Jakarta.
Thank you, Ravi. So the other question is, what release of ServiceNow is the demo?
It's an Istanbul version.
Okay, great. So compared to other tools such as RightScale and Scalar, how ServiceNow cloud management stands out?
That is indeed a good question. So we have many tools off the shelf available for the hybrid cloud management, starting with very simple tools and going up to high-scale tools. But how do you compare a tool with a platform is what I like to ask you. Because apart from the tool, ServiceNow is more of a platform, as you have witnessed, and how we can customize it, how I can tailor-make it to fit in my needs. And maybe there are some off-the-shelf tools, there are features which I don't really care about or which I don't need. But what comes out of the box in ServiceNow by itself is going to solve most of your pain areas. And for a detailed comparison of these tools with ServiceNow, you can get that as part of the research paper, and all the participants in this webinar is going to get this research paper in their email. So you will have more information on this comparison.
Thank you, Ravi. And this is indeed a long question. How do you give approving manager a sense of cost, whether the resource will be priced either per hour or for a requested period of time?
Okay. So the price is calculated based on the restart date and end date. So it calculates overall price from the requested period. So it not depends on the per hour, it depends on the restart date and end date from the requested period.
Thank you.
We can also have multiple criteria depending upon how we are charging back, right? So, for example, if I'm going to charge back depending upon an hourly rate, yes, I can do it. If I want to calculate per hour, per day, yes, I can do it. So it's completely flexible, and we just need to customize the workflow or the cost of the service catalog item and how I can get the data from Azure. Azure or AWS is going to give you per hour rates as well. So we can just do those mapping, and we can give an approver an idea how much he is approving for.
Thank you, guys. So the next question is the cloud management part of Enterprise Service Management Suite?
Cloud management is not part of your Enterprise Service Management Suite license. So we need to purchase it separately.
Okay. To what extent we can customize the out-of-the-box cloud management module?
I think we have discussed it before. I don't see any limitations because we have gone to different levels to customize this entire platform and all the features what ServiceNow offers in cloud management. So the customization starts with the service catalog. Everyone agrees that we don't have any limitations to that. When it comes to processes, that's the backbone of ServiceNow. We have customized a lot, and we have to customize for different companies. And when it comes to automation, yes, we have integrated with different cloud resources and environments to provision, deprovision, and manage it. So we don't have any limitations in that part as well. So I don't see any particular limitations when it comes to customizing the ServiceNow for cloud management.
Thank you, Ravi. Last question. How do you see the cloud management trend when it comes to ServiceNow? Have you implemented cloud management to your customers?
Yes, we have did implementation of cloud management for different customers, and it did work out very well. And the intention of this webinar is also to share our experience. So whatever we have discussed and whatever we have shown the demo is based upon our experience on implementing hybrid cloud management for different customers. And it really worked out well. And we also come up with a roadmap how we can improve it over the period of time. It is not a one-time job. It is going to be a continual service improvement when it comes to hybrid cloud management. So what are the flavors which I can add, how I can improve the existing provisioning process or the automation or the processes. So everything is a continual improvement process, and we are continuing to do implementation and enhancement to our customers as well.
Thank you, Ravi and Syed. On behalf of the presenters, I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the webinar and it is insightful for you guys. You can email or call us for a POC or consultation. You can email us at info@aspices.com, and you have the phone numbers on screen. And we would be sending you the hybrid cloud management research paper we have launched in the Limitless IT Summit, Singapore. And thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining this session. And we hope the session was useful to you guys. And have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.